Hello there, welcome back. Thanks for the presence. So in our last learning, we have seen how to call JavaScript function from the feature file. We have actually printed the response and we have calculated the length of it and we have printed. And in a similar fashion, we can also call Java snippet from the feature file. So let's do that. So the reasons why we need to call these functions, in the sense we do not have customized functionalities that are handled in Karate. Say for example, if you wanted to build a sophisticated framework that does everything generic for you, and you wanted to have more customization, so then you might need to get into some level of programming. So unless and until you build such helper utilities or common wrappers, you cannot call your framework as a more intelligent and more generic one. So in this learning, as agreed, so let's learn how to call the Java snippet from the feature file, and what are the areas that we can have this in. Like, say for example, if you ask me one scenario, so far we have learned how to send a request body from a different way. Say for example, we learned how to send it from table, and we have also learned how to read from an external JSON file, and we have also learned how to copy it in the feature file itself by having it in the three single quotes at the start and at the end. And now let's send that particular request body from the Java program. That is one thing. And the other thing that we can also do is that, say for example, right now the response is being only observed on the console. So let's say you wanted to have this particular response printed on your file too. So then how do you actually do that? So you can write some Java code where you can write the output to a file, and you can have it for your reference. Say for example, you wanted to share with the developer, or you wanted to share with any business stakeholder who are really interested in that file. So it is quite easy, and that way it works. So in order to work with this particular learning, I have created a feature file. So that is just nothing but create an issue using Java function feature. So if you look into the implementation of this feature file, this is no way new or no way different than how to create a bug. So I have commented out the line where we are reading it from the file, and if you can come down and see, I'm actually supplying the request body in the form of a table, and I'm just observing whether it is 2.2 to 201 or not. Okay, so in this particular response, what we do basically, so I would like to have the body sent from a Java function. So how do I do that? So for this thing, I would just comment out these three lines, because I don't want this table anymore, at least for some time. And let me create a Java function, guys. I'm sorry for that. So just right click and new, and I'm creating a class. I'm saying this as a Java function, Java fun, and I don't want static main method. So in this class, I will write two methods. One is to send a request, and one is to print the response. So let's deal with how to send the request body first. So I'm writing a method public, and I will say string rec body is my method name. So what it is gonna do, it will just return string str equals to, and it just return str. Yeah, so now what should go inside this body? If you look into the our earlier session, we have used a file called input.json. So this is the payload message, or this is the body that you should be sending when you are creating a bug. So let me just use this file, entire JSON body, and paste it in between the double quotes. So guys, whenever you are working with Eclipse, I would strongly recommend you guys to install Photon or above, because that has a beautiful feature. If you can see, all my slash or slash new line and automatic double quote, so multi-line string has been handled by the Eclipse IDE. So otherwise you will have to handle this one, because I am already pasting this inside a string body. So you tend to get an error that you need to escape certain sequences and where that is done by Eclipse. If you are using any older version, so you will have a tough time doing this operation. So I would strongly recommend you guys to install Photon or above version. Yeah, I think Photon is the version, and inside that you get it the latest version that you have, that is available. So this particular what I'm doing, it is a simple method, guys. I just created a request body method. I am storing this particular request body in a variable called str, and I'm just returning. So since it is of string type, my method is also string, it is returning. So now I'll go to the feature file and I'll show you how to call the Java function. So in order to call a Java function, so you need to use java.type. Java.type is a method, and where you can give the path of your Java class. It is present in features dot java fun is my class name. Have a semicolon here, and I wanted to store this particular value into a class object. So I would say def, and I will say input class. Yeah, so maybe I would say my class, because if I say input, once this is completed, we are going to see the output as well. So there the mismatch comes. So let me put it as my class. So now what do I do? I have my class written already, and now the Java method is being read, and it is stored in a variable called my class. So now the entire property is there in the my class. And if you look into the method, so it is a non-static method. So how do you call a non-static method? So there are two methods, like you have a static method and you have a non-static method. So if it is a static method, so the understanding is that it stores in the class memory, and you need not have an object to create to call that. Like, since it is stored in the class area, you can directly call with the help of class name dot method name. On the other hand, if you wanted to call a non-static method, so how do you call? So you have to create an object, and then you have to call that method. So since it is a non-static method, and we have already loaded this particular class detail into a variable called my class, so just create an object. I would say new my class dot, now call this method. What is the method? Request body, and it is not taking any parameters at this point in time. So request body is the method call, and now I will store this in another variable called body. Okay, so make sense, guys? So simple thing. First, initially what I've created, I had one feature file written, so especially for this learning. Then I created a Java class. I created a method called request body, and I'm returning a string. Just I copied, like I hard coded one of the JSON body that we would basically use to create a Jira or create a bug, and I'm returning that string. So how do I call this function? So with the help of java.type is a method, and you need to specify the path in which directory, in which package that class is present. So package name dot that class name, and you need to end the statement with a semicolon, and I am actually loading the details into a variable called my class. So now my class has the knowledge of the Java function class. So now I need to treat this as my class. So I'm creating this as I'm creating an object for my class, because the method that I would like to call is a non-static one, not a static one. So in order to call a non-static method, I need to create an object. So that's what I've done. So, and request body is my method. So request body is actually returning a string. So I'm capturing that returned string into another variable called body. So now what I'll do, I'll come down. So there is nothing that is going to be changed in authorization or as far as the header is concerned. So I would just simply change the request. Instead of request body, I would say body, and let's execute this one and to see it works properly. And if I just scroll down, it started. Yes, guys, it has worked successfully. If you see, the ID got generated, and MYP 160 is the key, and this is the issue number. So now let's print this response. Like I wanted this response to be stored in a file for my later verification purpose. So I might need to share this file with somebody like who wanted to verify whether that functionality is working intended or not. So now how do I do that? So let us create a Java function again, a simple Java function. So that function will actually write this response to the a text file. Okay, so I'm creating a function for that. So public, so the scope of this method is public, and this time let's say work with a static example, because we have had two different kinds of methods. So we have already worked with non-static, you know how to call a non-static method. Let me explain you how to call a static method. So, and this method really not returning anything, because you are writing somewhere but you need not return that. So what I do, I would keep the return type as void as such, and I will say my method name is write to file. Write to file is my method name, and this method is going to take an argument, because it has to write whatever it receives. This method is basically a consumer. What, like somebody gives this method the data, whatever the data that this method has received will write to a file. So that's what our logic is. So now I would take a print writer. You have a lot of classes, you know, you have buffer writer, you have streams, input trace stream, write input stream, output stream, and like print writer, file writer. So let me use print writer for ease of use. Like print writer is the class, so I am creating an object for it, equals to new print writer, and I wanted to create a file called data.txt, and it should data.txt. So let me import, let me handle the exception. So these are exception that I need to handle. File not exception if in case the file is not available. So program will terminate gracefully, so without having to interrupt in a hard coded way. So now what I would do, I need to use this object writer dot print. I need to, whatever the argument that I receive, I need to ensure that I am writing into a variable. So println of arg, and once I am done writing this output into a file, I need to ensure I am closing it, and I am also flushing this writer dot flush. Okay, so let me write this method first and then the other one. So args is the input. So done guys, that's it. So we have created a method, simple method that actually creates a file. If the data.txt file is not present in the directory, it creates a one. If it presents, it overwrites that. So now what we do, we need to call this function again. So response, print response is something that we are printing the response in the console. So let us store that response into a variable called resp, resp. So in this variable I am actually storing this one, and now let us call the Java function again. So Java dot, we know that, so Java dot type, and what is the okay, no need to call this again, because we have already called this particular Java in the background section. So this would be available throughout this particular feature file. So since I have already called this one, so I will use this variable my class, because the second line is something where you are calling a non-static method, but in our case we are calling the static method. So what I would do, my class dot, since ours is a static method, so what is our method name guys? Let me just quickly copy it so that I don't get it wrong. I just copied it, and now I'm just passing a variable called re, because we need to pass the response, like resp. The response what I have received, I am actually storing it in a variable called resp, and that variable I am actually sending as a parameter the write to file function. So now if it based on the interest, you can share this particular thing into another way, load this output to another variable. So that's it guys. Now what happens, like the moment you run this file, so it initially fetches the body from the Java function, which is request body method, which is a non-static one, and then once the response got printed, it will call the static method this time, which is write to file, and this method will actually print the response in a file called data.txt. If it is not there, it creates. So let me quickly run this file, run as cucumber feature file, to see this get passed successfully, and also we will see a file called data.txt. Okay, so we have seen the response. Bug got created successfully with MYP161, and you come down to your project directory. So right now I don't have a file called data.txt. I would like to refresh this particular project. Right click and refresh, and you would notice a file called data.txt. So if you come down, you see at a project level directory. If you go into here, you have noticed that the output got printed in this file. So 160 and MYP161 and self, this is the URL. So this is how you basically log your response into a file using a Java program, because these kind of utilities are very much required. Then only your framework becomes more generic, and it actually satisfies the sophisticated industry parameters. So however, we don't need a programming language, but at times as there is a need, we need to write some helper functions like this, and we need to know some of the JavaScript snippets to create some current date, or it could be anything, like based upon the needs. Say for example, you wanted to generate a random number, or you wanted to write a loop so that you will read every value and then assert something. So if you wanted to have this kind of customized validation, so it is very mandatory that you have to handle through a code, because Karate has matches. What it can do, it will just say whether it contains or not, or a particular value it matches or not. So other than that, it cannot actually go, it does not have the capability to go deep inside and see as how we search manually. So in order to do that, you need to build the logic for it. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. I hope you have learned something new, and this is one of the key features of Karate, and I hope my explanation was pretty clear. And if you have not understood this, please re-watch this thing. I'm sure that you would get it if you watch very carefully. So thank you so much, guys, for listening me. Please subscribe to this channel and hit a like, and I would come up with some more interesting topic as we go forward. So thank you so much, guys. You have a great rest of today.